This is Archetypal Trader. Today's date is the 19th of July 2021, and in this video I'm going to go over Bitcoin, Ethereum and the dollar index. It's the 19th of July, so we're coming into Leo Ingress, which I will quickly just show here. You can see the sun's at 27 degrees Cancer, so we're heading into Leo. If I move the wheel forward a few days, we're in Leo on the 22nd of July in the Northern Hemisphere. So I'll jump over to the Bitcoin chart, and we've had the weekly candle close this morning. I've just got a fib retracement of the bottom of the COVID dump up to the high at 65k here on Bitcoin. And if I zoom in on the weekly chart here, you can see that we've made a lower low on this full candle body close down here at 31,789. The market's looking pretty fragile at these areas. I'll just throw on Ichimoku. Nothing much has changed. We can see the Kumo's starting to shorten up here. If I throw CQ span A and B onto the chart, it's narrowing a little. We obviously had that TK cross 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and yeah, it's not looking that great for Bitcoin. I'll move over to the daily chart. So yeah, a few days ago we had this TK cross, a strong TK cross underneath the cloud. That's when the red line is above the blue. We're still hanging on to some sort of support here. I don't know for how much longer, but it must be said this $31,000 level is the line in the sand. If we get price action even intraday underneath this $31,000 level, it's not looking very good at all for Bitcoin. You would expect that price would retrace down further. This $31,500 level, we've sort of lost on a daily candle close on the 19th, and then we've recovered. We had an inside bar over the weekend on the 17th of July. We didn't quite break that at the daily close today, and now we're turning back down. So yeah, Bitcoin really has to bring something to the table here for bulls. I just don't see what can really happen. We're just going to have to be patient to see if some volume might be able to come into the market here. The volumes have been extremely low comparing to prior periods. Like, I'll just throw on this volume on the fib. 100,000. 10,000. Just going to put the moving average on the volume here. So yeah, zooming out so far, I'll zoom back into the volume. We can see that this 20 period moving average within volumes headed down to the 1 by 1, the $10,000 Bitcoin bar level, and it hasn't been back there since October. So volume is really slowing down. I would expect we should probably see some higher volume and more volatility introduced into the market at some stage, but yeah, it's just a waiting game. So maybe I'll just draw some possibilities for price action moving down further. So yeah, this Fibonacci extension, the 1.618 is down at 21,000, and yeah, the 2 level 16,000, that's some possible targets if we really do sell off quite aggressively here. So that's what I'm seeing on the daily. Yeah, there's not that much good news really. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll go over to the 4 hour. Yeah, so on the 4 hour chart, I'd had this previous fractal area boxed in, and I'd been really paying attention and zooming in on that level. As I watch price action down here, we had that massive bounce and we did have some volume back here. Some very strong volume. Just reverse that up and I'll zoom in on the volume. So yeah, we had some, you can see the moving average and the volume really did spike up here. We had a lot of volume when we made that week low of 28.80, which is a quintile. 28,800. But ever since then, we've been creating consistent lower bull fractals. But this zone has been very interesting to me. I thought perhaps we'd pivot out of this box and get a counter trend rally back up. But yeah, price is definitely doing some transactions down here. I don't know if this is a bear flag or what it is, but yeah, the lines are just drawn in the sand really, like this $31,000 level. If we can hold it, maybe we can bounce up higher, but yeah, as the theme continues, there's just nothing really bullish to get excited about, and we are seeing really low volume here on the 4 hour as well. You can see the moving average is underneath the 38.2 fib retracement within the volume. The last time we were down here was around April 6th. Was the last time the moving average, and we had like a real lull in volume, and that would have coincided with the top, I presume, just before. So yeah, this is the last time we had like the current volume we're experiencing now, and that was back on the 8th of April, and yeah, the high came in on the 14th, so there's something to note. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. If we can continue to hold this $31,000 level and we continually experience low volume, perhaps we can get a counter trend rally back up to 36,000. But that remains to be seen. London's just, I think, what is it, UTC 1? Yeah, so I think London's, it's almost 11 a.m. there, so yeah. I don't know if they're at the beach in Spain or whatever, the city of London, but the traders, but yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see how this all comes out in the wash. I think a move down is probably the higher probability play here. Ethereum. So here's the Ethereum chart. Made a lower low with a full candle body close on the weekly this morning. The level was 1872. We're still trading within these previous bull fractals that I've mentioned in previous weekly close videos. Ichimoku, we got that TK cross 2 weeks ago also, and the Kumo is closing in on itself as well. I'll go over to the daily. So yeah, we've got a strong TK cross underneath the cloud like Bitcoin as well on the daily. We just seem to be grinding down lower. There's not that much volume to really report about. It's really low volume at the moment. And yeah, there's nothing much to say, but it's pretty bearish. Moving on to the 4 hour. a box in this fractal area. I think you could argue that it's a little bit stronger than Bitcoin. We're sitting on top of this box. If I go back to Bitcoin 4 hour, we've been trading within it. We're holding it for now also. But yeah, we just continually trade down on that box, and it's underneath the 618 fib retracement. Throw on the 618. 618 is back at 1972, so we're trading well under that. I could throw on the 78.6 fib. So yeah, we're in that zone. It's yeah, playing a counter trend rally here with a stop down here at 1700. It's a cheaper stop loss. It's fairly bearish though. Prices under the Kumo on the 4 hour as well. I'll go over to the Dixie now. The Dixie is a dollar index. So yeah, this is the weekly on the Dixie. We've sort of come down here since this 90-89 area since the beginning of the year. If I box in this fractal area, I'll turn on the fractals. So this bear fractal, we've retraced all the way down, and for 3 weeks there's a lot of business getting done there. There's 4 wicks in that area, and we're putting in this W, so a break of 93.43 on a weekly time frame would be very bullish. Yeah, Ichimoku on the weekly is neither here nor there. It's not showing much of anything bullish really with the Ichimoku setup, but it is the weekly, and you don't really wait around for Kumo breakouts on a weekly. You'd drill down to lower time frames, but from a horizontal support resistance perspective, it looks quite good. We've been building this bullish divergence in RSI, and we've created high highs in RSI as well. What's that level there? 56.76. And yeah, we've broken that. We closed at 58.10. So that's let's drill in and look at that. It's quite something. I hadn't seen this before I started making the video. So yeah, 56.76. What was it back here? 57.11 back on the 30th of March 2020. So that would marry up with the COVID dump on Bitcoin. And yeah, we've had a clear breakout on the weekly here at 58.10. So it's very bullish really. So yeah, this bullish divergence continues to build. We've had a breakout on the RSI, which has been building for over 12 months. So yeah, that's 67 weeks. Breakout in RSI, got divergence. We're building up into a nice W here. It's just, yeah, the last piece of the puzzle here is breaking 93.437. I'll go to the daily. Yeah, so on the daily, we've had a Kumo breakout on I believe it was the 17th of June. I'll just use the reverse tool on that. And I'll use one more candle. I'll turn on CQ span A and B so we can really zoom in and see what's happening with the Kumo. And I'll throw on Chiku span as well. You can see Chiku span's well above price, so I can take that off. That's one indicator within the Kumo breakout setup that you need to tick that off. It needs to be above price for a bullish trade. So that's good. But on this close, we didn't get the flip on the TK cross. It came in the next day. So yeah, that's your buy signal. From a daily perspective on the Dixie, if we just skip ahead of time, so breaking another trade setup would be breaking this fractal. That'd be the first fractal out after a Kumo breakout. So that gets broken as well. And now we're just sort of setting up here. We're continually breaking bull fractals above the cloud, which is very encouraging if you're a bull. Yeah, it looks very good. Something to note, there is some bearish divergence working, but yeah, we keep on making lower highs in the oscillator, but we're making higher highs in price. So yeah, I think if some substantial volume comes in here, I don't have any volume on TradingView, I don't know why, but yeah, RSI could easily break that high of 73.45 and would continue the move up, and that's super bearish for Bitcoin. A strong dollar. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing within the market. If we continue on higher with the Dixie, I think Bitcoin's in some definite trouble. Yeah, so I'm going to leave the video there. This is Archetypal Trader. Please like, share, subscribe to the video. Leave a comment below, and I'll talk to you soon.